all across the nation, our rights and our freedoms are being trampled by the same people who claim to be looking out for us in the United States government. In Washington State, there was a federal overreach on a trial called the Kettle Falls Five. In 1998, Washington State passed the medical marijuana law, stating that people could get a license to grow and use marijuana for medical reasons. This is legal within the state, and per our Constitution, our state has the right to do so. The 10th Amendment states that the Constitution and the Bill of Rights gave the U.S. government certain responsibilities and certain things that they can do. But anything that was not listed within the Constitution and the Bill of Rights is not available to the federal government to rule over. It is given to the states and to the people. The people of Washington State said that you can use marijuana in a medical use in 1998. It is now 2015. That is 17 years ago. The federal government decided to oversee what is going on in our state, which they claim there is no medical use for marijuana. However, the federal government has patented medical marijuana, so if there is no use, then why are they even bothering to have a patent on it? So they come in and they take these people, go into their property, search it, take away stuff, pull up the plants, and then try to send them to jail for up to 60 years. The case was tried this last week, and the verdict just arrived. 4 of the 5 charges against the Kettle Falls Five were dropped, but 1 was not, and they were found guilty of growing marijuana plants. However, the federal government does not have the right to decide if these people go to court or not. Washington State said it was okay. That should be the last word in the entire situation. And for people who think that the judges do have the right to do something, I am completely flabbergasted that you're willing to give up those rights. The judge that oversaw the case stated that they could not use anything relating to medical marijuana as a defense. It could not be mentioned. It could not be discussed because it wasn't a federal law. The federal government just owns the patent, but there's no way that it could ever be used medically. Well, then why do they have the patent? The same judge also stated that the freedom of speech would not be allowed in the courtroom because it is not a First Amendment right inside the federal court. Again, these are not rights that this judge has the ability to take away, but he did, and this case has shown that the federal government will do whatever they want, whenever they want. We had a rally where we were going to defend our 10th Amendment rights and to explain to people the value of the Constitution, what it says, and hopefully educate them in understanding what our rights are. When people were there, some of them came with guns. This is an open carry state. It was completely legal. And before you blast me with the argument of it was not legal what he did, he was on federal property, let me tell you something. The law states inside the building he could not have the gun. He was outside the building. They took him They spent over 5 hours trying to find something to charge him with and were unable to. And the reason that he was released was because the sheriff of the county went in there and told them they had to let him go. Now, if this was not legal, why would the sheriff be coming in and telling them to let him go? So, what he did was within his rights. People were coming up and saying afterwards, online, in person, well, all he had to do was just step back when they asked him, and then it wouldn't be an issue. The problem here, it does not matter where he was at. He was within his rights. But if they start demanding that you step 3 feet back, and then you step 3 feet back, then what's going to say that they aren't going to demand you step another 3 feet back? And you don't argue with that. Now you're 6 feet away. And they say, again, you need to move 3 feet back. Now you're 9 feet away. Suddenly, even though it is completely legal for you to be somewhere, you're not anywhere near where you can be. This is how the government takes over without you even realizing what is going on. Because they don't just come out and say, everything's banned, you guys can't do anything. They look at it and they say, we're going to take this. And legally we can't take this. But that's okay, we're going to do it anyway. No one's going to question it. And when we take those 3 feet and we stand there, then we can take 3 more feet and 3 more feet and 3 more feet. And suddenly, what we wanted to ban in the first place is now illegal because we made it so. And no one stood up to fight for their rights, to say, you can't do that. And once the federal government does something, trying to get them to undo it is nearly impossible. So for the people who said he should have just stepped back, you do not understand what is going on. He was friendly. He was asking, where can I be? And they took him anyway because he asked a question. So many people these days do not bother to ask why. And if you are a person who does ask why, they go after you. They find you annoying. They tell other people that you have no business asking these questions. They treat you like an idiot. They treat you like you're insubordinate. And then they arrest you and throw you in jail. The fact that we are allowing ourselves to be caged because we stand up for our rights, and that we are allowing ourselves to have our rights taken away is ridiculous. When this country was founded, the people that did a lot of the work in the beginning were considered what would now be considered domestic terrorists. They were people who stood up and said no more. Other people told them, you need to stop that. You can't do that. That's not very nice. Why don't you just behave? And look what happened. They did not do it. They stood up for themselves, and they helped to create one of the greatest nations in the world. But we have forgotten where we come from. And everything those people worked for, the lives that were given, the money that was taken from them, the family members that were pitted against each other, is now being thrown away. Because now we just let the government do whatever they want. We don't question. And everything that those people sacrificed and worked hard for is slowly eroding away. We have the ability to stop the erosion. It will take a lot of effort, and it will take a lot of people to stand together and say enough is enough. We can say all we want over the internet, on the Facebook, on the Twitter, on the Instagram, the blogs. But unless you are willing to get out there and show them your face and say, I am a U.S. citizen. This is my country and my rights, and I am not giving them up. Until people do that, it will continue to get worse. There will be times when you are the only person that is standing there. Your family or your friends or your neighbors may start calling you an idiot, a terrorist, a horrible person. Why are you bringing this upon yourself? If you're not doing anything wrong, they're not going to arrest you. You have to still stand up for what is right, and do not let the people bully you into backing down. When there is such an injustice across the nation, or in your state, or in your own town, your block, anywhere, you have to stand up for yourself. You have to know, I am doing the right thing, and I may pay the price. And the price can be bad. You could go to jail. You could get shot. You could die. But that is what it takes to preserve the nation that we have grown up in and that we love. We have to continue the fight. You have to try to do whatever you can to make people understand that you are not scary, you're not a terrorist, you are the everyday American who wants their rights and wants to continue living in the best nation in the world, and who does not want the government to step in and think they know better for you, your body, your children's education, any of that stuff. That they know better than you of what should be done. People have given their lives over the course of this nation to keep us free and to allow us the ability to say what we want to say, to do what we want to do, to live how we want to live. But every day we have to fight to keep that. We cannot let their lives have been given in vain. The Constitution, the Bill of Rights, this is not a document that has passed its prime. You go and read it. There is nothing in there that is no longer relevant today. It is all relevant. It doesn't talk about, you have to have a horse to get from one side of the town to the other. And now we have automobiles and airplanes, therefore that's no longer valid. It does not say that. We have to fight to keep it. And unless people are going to stand up, it will be taken away, and we cannot let that happen. And this group, the people who were within their rights to grow the medical marijuana, should not be punished by the federal government when our state said it was okay. Our state, our rights. We cannot give them up. We have to fight. You have to defend the Constitution. You have to defend the 10th Amendment. Hold on to it. Hold it close. Read it, understand it, and don't let it slip away. This is a gross injustice that these people have been charged at all. It should never have gone to court, and it should never be in front of a judge who says that First Amendment rights are bullshit, and not going to happen, and a judge who says you can't use any state law as a defense. Don't use the law as a defense, because I am going to make them convict you. I will tell you personally, I am 33 years old. I have never in my life smoked marijuana, used marijuana of any kind. It is not the point of marijuana. It is the point that it was our state and our rights, and they are trying to take it away. So please, stand up for what is right and fight the tyranny. Because without it, without our rights, we have nowhere to live that will truly be free. And our freedom is what is precious to us. And if you don't believe that, ask the soldiers who have gone to fight for it.